Hey, good morning, fourth graders. Welcome back. It is Monday, April 27th, and we are looking at page 275 in your math journal. It's the last part of the adding angles for the week. Last week, before we took Friday off for science, took math off anyway, we were working on this, and what I talked to you about is that your binocular vision plus your monocular vision plus your monocular vision equals your field of vision. Again, this is page 275. And the other thing that I said for you to notice when you're doing this, kind of a little bit of a cheat, is that your monocular field of vision on your left and right are usually going to be the same. So we talked about how you can check this. 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 plus 140 equals 180. And then we looked at the merino sheep and we had 62 plus 104. We can probably guess that's going to be 104 for most merino sheep, or right around that. 104 and 104, that's 208. And then if you take that 208 and add 62, 8 and 2 is 10, carry that over, 1 and 6 is 7, and then 2, you get your 270. I think we did the fox too, and that's simply just adding with the fox. 110 and 110 is 220, 220 plus 40, 260. So what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and try those guys real quick. Try those three. Let's do the horse, the cat, and the harbor seal. Now, and the rock dove. My fault, sorry. Try these four right off the bat. Now, for like the rock dove, you have the three things you need to add. That's just adding. But for, we'll go ahead and pause me. With the rock dove, what you should do is 148 plus 148. And if you feel comfortable enough, you can add the 24 too. So when I do this, this is one of those ones where no matter how you add it, you'll get the same thing. But I would probably go 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. That's hard to see because of the blue there. I'm going to switch to red so we can see that better. Here we have 2 plus 4 is 6. 4 more is 10. 2 more is 12. Bring that up here. A rock dove can see 320 degrees. Now when you're doing the horse, again, the thing to remember is that the monocular vision is going to be the same, so you can make the assumption that that's going to be 146. And it becomes just adding. So when I add this to check, let's make sure that it's right. Some of you are saying, we know it's right, we already did it. Well, we're going to check anyway because we have time. 146, 146, and 65. 6 and 6 is 12. 5 more is 17. Bring that 10 up here. 1 and 4 is 5. 4 and 6 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. I get 357. A horse can see 357 degrees. That's pretty crazy. If you think about that, that would be like seeing almost a full circle. Not quite all the way around. The cat. Well, this one is a little bit more challenging because you can't just assume what the binocular vision is. So for here, you've got 30 and 30. And we know that those two together are going to be 60. So in order to find the binocular vision, you would have to take 200 and subtract 60. 0 minus 0 is 0. With that, a 100, that becomes 10 tens. 10 minus 6 is 4. I get 140. This one is just simply adding. $71, $71, and $67 for the hardware seal. 1 and 1 is 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. 7 plus 7 is 14. 6 more would be 20. I get 209 degrees. All right. So now you should know how to solve for everything on here. And you have 3 more. So the last thing that I want you to do is I want you to solve each blank for each of those animals. Hit pause on me, solve those, and when you're done, I will work through them real quickly on the board for you, and we will go on to our math boxes. Or maybe we might do one of the distance problems. Okay, so hopefully you pause me and solve for these blanks. If you haven't, pause now. This is your last chance before I start working. Okay, again, with the binocular vision, or excuse me, the monocular vision, this is monocular, we can assume that they're the same. You can see that they're the same all the way. So I know that this is 90. If I check that, I know that 90 and 90 is 180, and 180 plus 60, 0, 0, 8 and 6 is 14, 240. I know that's right. This one is the tricky one. You have to take your total field of vision and subtract your 2 monocular visions. So 20 and 20 is 40. So that's 110 minus 40. 0, 0, 0. No matter how you look at this, I like to just leave it because it's like 11 minus 4 anyway. 11 minus 4 is 7, so I get 70 for the output. And this is just adding again. So if I come over here, I've got 123, 123, and 33. And when I add that 3, 3, and 3, 9. 2 and 2 is 4, 3 more is 7, and 200. So 279 degrees is what you should have had there. Okay. Moving on. Oh, those are the solutions. We already saw those. You can't see much there. Okay, so here we're going to find distance. On this one, we're only going to do like 1 or 2. The tables below show the approximate distance in miles between downtown areas of different towns. Use this information to solve the following number stories. Show your work on a separate sheet of paper. So you may want to pause right now. If you don't have scratch paper, you may want to grab some. And basically, how this works is, if I want to go from Deerfield to Northbrook, I put my finger here and here, and I bring them together. They'd be 6 and 8/10. If I wanted to do Northbrook and Park Ridge, I bring them together 9 and 2/10. So here it says, what is the distance from Glencoe to Highland Park and back? So we are doing Glencoe to Highland Park, and if I bring my finger across and down, I get 4 and 1/10. So this would be 4. I'm going to use a different color because it's not showing up quite the way I want it to. 4 and 1/10. And there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can do 4 and 1/10 plus 4 and 1/10, but I think I would prefer to do it times 2. And I'm going to put my 2 over 1. And with my unknown, it's in miles, so I'm going to put it as an M. So here's how you do it. We're going to take the whole number times 2 and the fraction times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, and 1/10 times 2, 1 times 2 is 2, 10 times 1 is 10, so I get 8 and 2/10. Now, this is something we haven't done in a while. It says, between which 2 whole numbers is this? It's been a long time since we've done this. The first number is, it's bigger than 8. And then all you have to do for the next one, if it's bigger than 8, that means it's not yet 9. So it's between 8 and 9. Alright, so let's take a look at number 2 and maybe have you give that one a try. One thing that I noticed is my smartboard isn't writing the way I want, so I'm going to calibrate just super duper quick here. There we go. So now, number 2. Dr. Isaacs drove from Wilmette to Highland Park and back on Tuesday, and again on Wednesday. How far did she drive altogether? So we're going Wilmette to Highland Park. When I find Wilmette, I find Highland Park, I go across, and I go down. I go across to this column, it's Highland Park, and I come down. That's 1 1/10. But what we have to remember when we do this is, she drove there and back. So it's 1 trip, 2 trips, and then she did that the next day. 3 trips, 4 trips. So it's 4 total trips, and each trip is 1 1/10, or 10 1/10. So if we wrote our number model with unknown, that's like 10 and, what did I say, 10 1/10, I believe? That's like 10 1/10 times 4. And I wrote the 4 just as a regular number here, but you could have put it over 1. Now to solve this, you're really going to have 2 problems. The first one is the whole number times the whole number, which is 10 times 4. The second one is the fraction times the whole number. So that would be like 1/10 times 4 over 1, because when we multiply that as a whole number, we ought to make that whole number a fraction. So go ahead and solve these 2 and get your answer. Go ahead and pause me. Okay, 10 times 4 is a pretty easy one. 10 times 4 is 40. And this is actually pretty easy too. 1 times 4 is 4. 10 times 1 is 10. So we've got to combine these, and you should have gotten 40 and 4/10. Which 2 numbers is this between? Remember, you always look at what's here first. And what we have here first is a 40. So it's at least 40, but it's not yet 41. And that's finding distances. If you want to give that third one a try, go ahead and give that a try on your own. We're going to look at your math box assignment. Now, we've done most of 277 already, excuse me. This is 277. We've done all this, we did all this, this is done, we did 4. So for today, all I need you to do, and you don't need to send this in to me, we're going to do a live math Zoom again tomorrow, but you need to finish box 5, which I believe is these 2, and you need to finish box 6. So that's your only math box assignment for today, is the rest of box 5 and the rest of box 6. Don't need to send that in. You'll get your new math box assignment for this week tomorrow when we do our live Zoom. Remember, if you can't get to the live Zoom, I haven't sent out the link yet for that. If you have a scheduling conflict, I'll video it for you and get that to you. Alright guys, have a great day.